The most important thing that you can do when you take your dog to the beach is to keep your dog on a leash the entire time you're there, which sounds controversial, but when you realize why, it's actually just safety and good parenting. Now, inevitably, when I talk about putting your dog on a long leash at the beach, I usually recommend a 50-foot leash, and I attach my leash to a hands-free system so that my dog just has the freedom to run and play while also still being safely tethered to me. I inevitably have somebody pop up and say, but the better solution is for your dog to have good recall. And no joke, your dog should be able to be recalled. You should have good command over your dog, and they should have good respect for you. That's important. But even if your dog is the best behaved, best recall dog in the world, you should have your dog on a leash at the beach. And this is for a number of reasons. But the one that people don't think about is the most important, in my opinion. And that is if your dog is playing in the water, they could get caught in a riptide. They could be taken out, and you have to get to that dog to bring them back in. If you have them tethered on a leash, you are able to pull them back in. And remember, when we're using leashes, especially at the beach, we're doing it to harnesses, not their collars. We want to make sure we are pulling them without damaging anything on your dog. So if your dog is playing, if they're doing things, if they get too far out and they can't get back to you, you have a way to rescue your dog, to save your dog. If you're just allowing them to go, that's dangerous. That is a dangerous situation you are putting yourself and your dog in. Having them on that long leash gives them freedom to play while also still being safely tethered to you. Important, in my opinion. Now, beyond that, we have just being a good, considerate human. If you were in a public space, your dog should be on a leash. In my opinion, period, end of discussion. And in most people's opinions, period, end of discussion. No matter how well behaved your dog is, you need to be able to get them close to you. You need to be able to have control over them because you can't control the situations around you. You don't know what random dog or child or adult man is going to run up to your dog and demand to engage with your dog. You do not know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to be in a situation where your dog is going to get scared and bolt. My dog, I have one dog that's afraid of the waves. When she gets too close to the water, she tries to pull back. I have her on an escape-proof harness so she can't escape it. But by having her on that leash, I can't lose her if she gets scared. My dog Lucy, the one in the picture, she's scared of things in the hotel lobbies. The last hotel I stayed at had Christmas things up many months early, big inflatables, and she was terrified of it. She backed out of her harness, which is why I got the escape-proof harness in the first place, and that was a really dangerous situation. She has good recall. She does listen to me. She stays right next to me, but she got scared. It was a traumatic experience for her, and she backed right up. Having her on the leash with an escape-proof harness means even if my dogs get scared, even if something happens, even if somebody comes running up, they're tethered to me. They can't go very far. They cannot run into the road because they're scared. They cannot go very far from me, depending on the size of the leash, of course. So having it there is just common courtesy, so we're not scaring or frightening other people who might be nervous about my dog because they don't know my dog. I have them on that leash so that if something happens, if somebody is engaging with them, I can get them back. I have them for security purposes with swimming and with walking and with doing all these things. It's just common sense to have them on a leash, be it a standardized size leash or that long leash. You want to make sure that you've got your dogs safely at the beach. And that means putting them on a leash every single time and not letting them off it. If you're in a public situation, I fully believe that you should have your dog on your leash just as a common courtesy and just as common sense. If you're in a private location, by all means, let your dog off leash, let them run, let them play, make sure they have that good recall, do whatever you need to do in your private settings. But in a public space like a beach or a park or wherever, just keep your dog on a leash. There's lots of options for you and lots of ways to make it safe for everyone involved because it's not just about you. It's not just about your dog. It's not just about your dog's recall. It's about all those other factors around you, all the other people, all the other dogs, all the other children, all the other birds, all the other inflatables, all the other things that could potentially be impacted by these choices. So at the beach, most safety forward reason is those riptides, is swimming, is making sure your dog is not going out to sea. But there's a lot of other safety reasons, and there's a lot of other just being considerate human reasons to keep your dog on those leashes while you're at the beach as well. So let me know, what is your favorite long leash? I will link mine down in the comment section, or actually I'll link mine in the description. You put yours in the comment section, and let's help each other to grow and to do better as dog parents so that we can make traveling and swimming and all those fun times better with our dogs, but also safe as we're doing so. We'll see you in tomorrow's episode.